welcome to Science Today. Today we will be doing the experiment, egghead grass experiment. So this one's going to be different because it's going to take longer to do, like days, to actually be able to see what's actually happening. So today we're just going to be doing the steps of the scientific method: observe, predict, and explore. And then the other days we'll continue to explore, and then hopefully maybe by Thursday we'll be able to see something. If not, it's just going to kind of be ongoing. So let's start. The first thing, again, to go over is the science experiment overview, and it just tells you what you can do with your child during the experiment using the scientific method, the first, second, third, and fourth steps of it. So that's just something for you guys to have to look over while going through the experiment itself. The next thing that I gave you was the experiment itself, and it's called Egghead's experiment. So make sure you have that. The next thing I gave you was the overview of the scientific method that we adapted for our students, which is the first step is observe, wonder, ask questions, discuss which materials that are needed, predict what's going to happen, explore, actually do the experiment itself, experiment, touch, feel, taste, all of that, listen, and then check to review what actually happened during the experiment. So those are the steps. I also gave you these worksheets to use while you're doing the experiment. So observe, what do we need? Predict, what will it do? Explore, experiment, touch, feel, look, listen, and taste. And check what did it, check what did it do. So we will go through all of that. Let's start the experiment. Let's actually do it. So the first thing on the scientific method is observe, and it says, what do we need? So we need eggs. So I have an egg. I have three eggs. I need soil. And what's cool about this experiment is that we've been doing stuff around the house outside, and we had actually plant some grass seed in our yard. So I have soil and I have the grass seed. So lucky I didn't have to get anything for this experiment, which is actually a first. I didn't have to do anything for it. Permanent marker for the eggs, and they recommend permanent marker because if you use a washable one, when you're watering the egg later on, if you don't have a permanent marker, the washable marker will fade and it will start to drip and it'll wash away. So permanent marker so that doesn't happen. And then the egg carton, which I have an egg carton. Okay, so that is that. Predict, what will it do? Will grass grow an egg or will nothing happen? So right now, make your predictions. What do you think it's going to do? Do you think grass will grow in the egg, or do you think nothing's going to happen? So you do that while I get prepared for the experiment itself. Okay, let's actually do the experiment. The first thing it says is the material list of what we need. Did that. The next one is gathering materials. Did that. All right, so the first thing it says is to draw a face on the egg with a permanent marker. So I have my egg. Let's make sure that the pointed part is up, and let's make a little face. So I got 2 eyes, a nose, and a smiley face. Okay? Did that. The next step, it says that we actually need to break the egg to get the yolk out. So I already did 2 of my eggs. I already emptied it just for time's sake. So I already did that, so we'll do 1 together. So it says that you need to make sure you tap the pointed part. So I just tap it on my counter. Make sure you get a little crack. I have a paper towel here, and I have a bowl so I can put the egg yolks in. So just make sure, there, you can see it's dripping. Put the eggshells on here. Okay, got that out. And then I'm just gonna make sure the top of my head looks good and even. You don't have to be perfect, but I'm just gonna make sure that I also have like enough room for the soil and stuff. So then they say that you need to wash it out. So wash out all of that eggs. Okay, and then what you have left over, I have 3 eggs in here. So I'm gonna make maybe some scrambled eggs with this after we're done with this. So don't waste those eggs. Okay, just dry this real quick. And then I'll put it on in our egg carton. All right, so that is done. Okay, so it just says after you pull off the bits of the shell, make sure that it's big enough so you have a good crop of hair. Okay, dump the egg out, did that. Rinse the empty eggshell, did that. Place your eggshells in an empty egg carton and then place 1 soil pellet in each. But we do not have soil pellet. So I have just potting soil, which they said would work. So I am just going to do a little bit at a time in each egg. Okay. Putting it in the egg. It doesn't really say how much soil you're supposed to put in, but I guess just don't put too much, but put enough. And then 1 more egg, and then we'll be done with that part. All right, so I filled up all of the eggs. And then it says, add in water until the soil has expanded and is nice and moist. Or just use potting soil, which mine's already moist. So if you're using potting soil like I did, make sure that you don't have to use the water because it's already moist enough. If you're using the pellets, then you have to make sure that you use water so it spreads out and it gets moist on it. And then it says sprinkle the grass seeds on top. Doesn't really say how many, so we'll just do quite a bit. Let's move on this side too. Okay. Okay, That's it. All right, let's go to the next page and see what they tell us to do. And then it just says, place your eggs in a sunny spot and check the soil daily. Add water if it feels dry, and we should see something in a few days. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna go put this by my window so it gets some sun, even though there's not a lot of sun today, but hopefully this week there'll be a little more sun. And that's it. So every day I'll check in on the eggs and see how they're doing, and we'll do the last thing, the check page, later, maybe in a few days, once we start seeing something, okay? So that was cool. I'm excited to see what's going to happen, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.